You're listening to Turi Writer's She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marcy Persky. In this installment, things to protect when you're living through a monsoon. And at my house, we have thermostat wars. Also, tips to help you get published in a tabloid. You're in the middle of monsoon season.
Yes, we are. It's the time to love and hate. We love that. We need the rain really, really badly. And they've been telling us now all winter that there wasn't going to be a monsoon season because of La Nina, El Nino, whatever. They've been saying no monsoon season. Now they're having severe storms. And that's the part that I'm going, please don't hail on my new car.
Oh, do you have any place you can hide your new car?
No, the new car is too big to fit anywhere.
Oh, bummer.
And we also have a very expensive trailer sitting behind the house.
But that has a shelter over it that Frankie built, so...
No, not yet.
Oh.
He's still making up plans and hauling out big equipment for that.
I see.
That's not something they could just build. It has to be like cemented into the ground and all that kind of stuff.
If it were my car or their trailer, I would personally, like one of those women in the Reader's Digest stories where they lifted a bus off their child, I'd shove that damn house trailer out of there and stick my car under it instead. Who's going to look at the ceiling of their trailer? Who's going to look at the roof? Who cares?
No. That one is solar, and so actually the top is really important.
But the top is going to be on the top that Frankie builds, right? And the trailer will be safely underneath the top.
Partially.
Oh.
It's going to be a lot more safe than it is now.
I see, sort of. Well,
it is a sort of kind of thing.
We have our own strange weather here, which has caused the first of two major marital spats in the last 2 days. Once again, the air conditioner wars are on. Do you have these heating and air conditioning battles at your house? Don't you dare touch my thermostat?
Kind of, sort of, but not really. Like right now, I have two not very good air conditioners going in the house. And the only room really stays cool is our bedroom, which is where every animal except for goats are laying right now.
Ah, yes.
The living room one is one of those old school out the window kind.
Yep.
Hopefully by the end of next week, we will have a real air conditioner in our house and everyone will be happy.
That's what you've mentioned.
We do more heat wars.
Heat wars you do have.
Yeah.
So you understand this.
He turns up the heat and I say, put on a jacket. He says, I don't have to wear a jacket in my house. And I said, yes, you do, if I'm hot.
So you have the inverse at your house of my parents, where it's very odd. It was like my mother had some kind of physical deformity that kept her from adjusting a thermostat. And so they would have these long conversations about, please turn up the thermostat. Oh, it's fine. Put on a sweater. Same thing, but in reverse. And I did not understand this marital conversation until I was married, but I have the reverse of it. I have the, if you ever touch my thermostat again, I think I've actually threatened divorce over the thermostat because one of us doesn't care. One of us is perfectly happy to sweat. And one of us, that would be me, I like it to be cool and dark or I cannot sleep. So
me too.
Working morning drive this week and I come home and I hear the words that I know are going to doom my marriage for the next at least 24 hours. I hear, oh, it's so beautiful. I opened up the windows and turned off the AC. And
no.
Yeah. To mix the metaphor, it snowballs from there. It's really a bad scene. You're lying in the bed and you think, okay, this is manageable. I can get my nap in. And you fall asleep and then 30 minutes later you're awake. You don't know why you're awake. And then 30 minutes after that, you realize you're awake because you're slowly boiling to death. And then you realize that to keep from boiling to death, you're going to actually have to get up and put on some glasses and adjust the thermostat. And then you realize it's going to take several hours for the thermostat to catch up with where the house actually is. And by the 45 minutes that you've been awake, or maybe an hour and a half, you can't count anymore because you're so furious and so sweaty. You throw yourself into the shower, a freezing cold shower, and then you go find the spousal unit, and then you're really, really glad you don't believe in physical violence because you know that your sleep is completely destroyed. And that is the phrase that you use. You go to the spousal unit and you say, "You have completely destroyed my sleep." And the spousal unit, after nearly 30 years of marriage, understands that the best thing he can do right now is take the dogs for a very long walk.
Well, we're coming up on 18 years.
Yeah.
And I think that Frankie has learned by now that I'm my mother's child, and my mom would, in the winter, would open windows. I hate being hot. And so I just will pile blankets over on him and have one blanket on me and turn the air up as high as it goes. But I turn it off in the morning, and that's the one stupid thing that I always do because, like I said, these are not high-tech air conditioners.
They'll expire.
And so I worry about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worry about them blowing up. I also look at our electric bill because they're not.
Never do that. Never do that. Don't look, Ethel. Don't look.
I have to look because I have to pay it. But here's my problem.
Yeah.
Is that I just told you a minute ago, because my bedroom is very cool right now because the air conditioner is blasting.
Yes.
All the animals are in there. Last night, I got into bed, and you know what a tag-along is? It's a little, it looks like a spear, and it's some kind of dried-up weed.
Oh.
And they get stuck in, like, everything.
Foxtails, we call those.
Yeah. We keep things clear as well as we can. But we do have a lot of acres with a lot of those little suckers. But they're bringing them into my bed, and only on my side.
Really?
Because they love me more. Yeah. They love me more. So they want to sleep on my side. And I was up last night for like an hour, just like trying to pick those little things out of the blanket. Because they hurt. They get stuck in my hair. They're in everything.
And do you look at the offending animal deep into the eyes and do you say, "You have destroyed my sleep"?
Oh, it's every single one of them. But no, because they don't understand.
That's the worst. I think that's the worst thing I could actually say. I mean, there are a lot of bad things that I could call somebody, but really the worst thing that could ever come out of my mouth, if you know me, the two things are, well, really the one thing is, "You have destroyed my sleep." And the other bad thing that happens is when somebody recommends something for the show and you say, "No, I don't think so." And then the person says, "No, really, it'll be great. Do this thing." And you think, "I really don't think that's a good idea." But the person says, "You really need to do this thing. You should trust me. I've been in the business a long time." So you do the thing and it's exactly as bad as you think it will be. That's the other thing I hate.
I know another thing that you hate.
What's that?
You get very hangry.
Oh, yeah.
You're
Well,
the angriest friend that I have. That I have.
That's true. That's very true.
I always know when Teresa has to eat.
That's true. But look how peaceful I am today. You want to know why I feel so peaceful today?
Because he's not at home.
No, he's out walking, walking the dogs. No, it's because I delivered the "You Have Destroyed My Sleep" lecture yesterday with such force and possibly with venom that when I came home to take my nap after morning drive, which is not a schedule that I normally live, the house was a blissful 75 degrees and the bedroom was dark. And so I can function. And the problem, I guess you're pointing out with the hangry and the "You've destroyed my sleep," these are two things that once they happen, until something changes, there's nothing you can do about it. Until you eat something or until you get a decent stretch of sleep, you're just stuck. And I think that's the feeling that I hate the most, the impotence of knowing that you're just doomed until something changes and it's not in your control. That's when I lose my mind. That's the thing.
I'm one of those people that I can fall asleep anywhere, anytime, like in movies and at plays and at concerts. I fell asleep at a Who concert.
Wow.
I was tired. I was getting up at 2 a.m. to work because
Yeah.
I was living Mountain Time working Eastern Time. So there was that whole getting up at 2:30 in the morning kind of thing.
Yep.
But yes, I can sleep through anything. It drives Frankie nuts. The only thing that bothers me is like sun and light. So I sleep with a mask, but I always wake up with it gone.
Yeah. Sleep is a valuable commodity. I think people, if in a future world where AI rolls, if there's some way we can screw the cryptocurrency, I want a sleep currency. I want you owe me 3 hours of sleep.
I agree.
That's what I want.
I agree. This is okay boom time, okay?
An okay boomer moment.
Longer than a moment. It's been kind of ongoing for the last 6 days.
Okay.
Because for some reason, I think I have to mess with stuff even when I don't. And so I was messing with my new iPhone 15 Pro,
Ooh.
which I never should touch. I should just look at it and use it, right? So I went in the settings, and for some reason now, it won't make any noise. And I've tried to go undo whatever I did, but I used to get, like ding when somebody sends me a text, or it plays a song when someone's calling me, and it is silent. Unless I have it in my lap and in my eyesight all the time, I don't know if anyone's calling me or texting me. And I've tried everything, but if I do like a whole reboot, clear it out thing, then I lose everything that's on it.
Oh.
So now, and nobody in my house knows how to fix it.
Isn't this the whole point of YouTube?
Yeah, but I don't understand YouTube.
Oh, well, that's a problem then. I think it's sulking. I think this is a human problem. You told your phone that it isn't good enough the way it is. It's like pointing out that its ass is fat. And so it's going to sulk at you. It's like, what do you mean I don't look great in these? I looked great in them in college.
I had tried doing everything, turning it up, rebooting it 10,000 times, going through every little, there's that whole group of settings that have to do with old people, like flashing lights.
Did you apologize to it? Did you just say, I'm really sorry that you weren't good enough the way you were?
You know what? You might be onto something, because it may not like its name, because I have named it Stumpy Dingleberry.
I'd shut up
and
too.
That's what comes up.
Yeah, I wouldn't talk to you at all. That'd be months. I wouldn't ring, vibrate, chime, alert. No, call me Stumpy.
Maybe I should
Dingleberry, and I'm out of here for sure.
Change its name.
Yeah.
I could change its name to like Wally or something.
Yeah. Go with the
There's
name
Wally,
change.
my phone.
If you Wally your phone, you should be okay. Just there's my next job. Tech advice. Tech advice. I'm gonna have a whole column about it.
Yeah. Don't name your phone Stumpy Dingleberry. It might go on strike.
How to speak nicely to your appliances. Like that line in the original Alice in Wonderland. Speak roughly to your little boy and beat him when he sneezes. He only does it to annoy because he knows it teases. Do that. And I'd like to point out.
And I'll do it in that voice, too.
Yes, this may be the only podcast where people quote Alice in Wonderland to you in the middle of a tech problem. And I just would like that noted for the record for our 5 listeners.
And if it works, I will immediately call the Weekly World News and the National Enquirer and report it. I'm going to say, in the middle of nowhere, atop a tiny small area on a huge mountain, because then they can't really trace anything that happens.
Is that how they do it?
And I will tell them that's magic. Yeah. And then they don't ask any questions. They just print it.
See, this is another thing you'll only get from this podcast, how to be published by the Weekly World News. We are so valuable.
I know, we are.
Yeah, we're more valuable than a U2 How to Fix It video.
I hate to say, but I have friends who would believe that.
Thanks for listening to the Turi Writers She Said What podcast. Since you've made it to the end, you might want to know that my book, She Said What? A Life on the Air, is not only available in print, but now also in complete audiobook form, narrated by me and available on Audible.